Preparing live. Okay. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our second live stream show. This is the summer 2023. It is our internship / pre-apprenticeship showcase. And this one is business and entrepreneurial thinking. I'm June Bea, CEO of Bea Group, and I'm so excited to welcome you to this live stream show of our interns / pre-apprentices sharing what they've done this summer. And the summer program has been since June 12th, and they've been working remotely and working with a deep dive lead, Adam Borick, who I'll bring on in a minute. I wanted to thank the school districts that are participating. So thanks to Downey Unified, Glendale, as well as Davis, we are able to bring this program to high school students, and they are participating in this multi-week program. And so today is their culmination showcase of what they have been doing. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Adam. Hi, Adam.
Hi, everyone. And thank you so much, June. In addition to thanking the schools and the students and the interns that work so hard, I just want to extend my gratitude to June and the Beha Group and Work Wonder for putting together this amazing program. I've lost track of how many iterations I've been through this, but I've gotten to meet just so many young people and hear their ideas and have them express themselves in a way that is just unique. And it's been an awesome thing to be a part of. So what we're going to be sharing about, we spent the last 6-7 weeks diving into the ideas of business and entrepreneurship, and really thinking about what does it mean to be an entrepreneur? What does it what are the parts, a little crash course that go into starting a business? What kind of business would you want to start? What does it mean to finance a business? How do you do it ethically? All these different things we talked about, which was fun to hear the young people's perspectives on. For today, we're gonna kind of hear a little more personal from the interns about, what it is they had worked on, but also what they got out of it. In the past, we've done full presentations of their business plans and everything like that, but we had large numbers this year. So just due to time, we're not going to have each one present every part of their business. However, we do have that available to everyone. I just put a link in the chat there, and I'll pull it up real quick and then we'll get started. If you're interested in anything that the interns share today and you want to learn more, they have more about themselves in a headshot and bio. They have a business plan they wrote, a pitch deck they put together, and then actually a recording of their presentation as well. So if you want to get to know more about these young people or hear more about their work, this is a great place to check it out. And June and the Beha team will have access to share this out as well. All right. Without further ado, I think I'm going to try to do this in a roundtable discussion. I'll keep track of who hasn't spoken in case we get confused towards the end. But Aaliyah, I'm wondering if you could start us off and just sharing a little bit about what did you work on? Why did you choose to work on it? And did you learn anything about business or about yourself through this program?
The business idea that me and my partner decided to do was cosmetics. And we wanted to do cosmetics only because it has a lot of meaning. For example, like one of the meanings is it could higher somebody's self-esteem. It could cause people to feel better about themselves. And there's a lot of benefits to it. And as for business, I feel like I did learn a lot about it, like the expenses wise and what it takes to run a business. And it was a good experience.
Awesome, Aaliyah. Thanks for starting us off. I didn't mean to put you on the spot. You're just first in alphabetical order, so I'm sure you get this a lot, actually. Aaliyah, who did you work with in the cohort?
I worked with Jacqueline.
Okay, Jacqueline, maybe you could go next in sharing a little bit about what you guys worked on and what you got out of it.
Yeah, okay. So Aaliyah and we just worked on different like ways to promote our cosmetics brand and how to get it started. We also wanted to go for like the more cheaper side, so it's more affordable for everyone instead of just a select amount of people. And we also thought about a diverse amount of skin tones as well, so it's more inclusive.
Awesome. And did you guys learn anything about, aside from business, did you guys learn anything about like your work habits or what it means to be an entrepreneur? Um, or how you think about business after going through this?
Yes, so after I completed this internship, I found out that I actually really like business more. Before this, I already wanted to open up my own business. So this just helped me learn my different like strengths and weaknesses that I have within the business.
Awesome. Aaliyah, how about you? Anything you came away from on a personal level after going through this?
I think it's hard. Like, there's a lot of steps to it, and I like business, but I'm not sure if it's something that I would do after the internship and everything. Even though it was something that I was really interested in, but after learning, I'm not sure.
That's great. It's I always advocate for finding like the only way to find out what you like and don't like is to give things a try. So um, I appreciate that the honesty, and I think it's a good way to kind of, you guys went through this program, you know a lot more about what you're getting into as opposed if you hadn't. So I think it's valuable. Awesome. I think it might be easiest if I just kind of keep the ball rolling, call on people. Kitsi, I see you on my screen. Would you
Hello.
care to share what you worked on and how it went for you?
So the business idea I worked on was a cafe shop, and I chose to work on it because I personally love coffee. And over like quarantine, I learned how to make a lot of the recipes and different types of coffees. And with school, I feel like it gives me more motivation to push through the day. And I like thought, why not start or like plan a business of cafe. And with something I learned about myself through the internship was that like time management is important. Through this internship, it was more independent, but I know that once I get into like actually having a business, I'm gonna be on other people's time and they're gonna be on mine. So it wouldn't be acceptable to slack off. And since I did go on vacation, I still managed to get my work done on time.
That's cool. I can vouch for you on that one. I was impressed by what you did. Kitsia, with the time management piece, and did this feel different than did this feel different than a school experience, this internship for you?
Yeah, because I was actually working on something that I could 100% like have my own voice on it. It wasn't just like an assignment. I had more like creative freedom.
Cool. Cool. And you chose to work on your own during this,
Yeah.
correct? Cool. All right. Thank you, Kitsia. Let's see here. Oop, I just muted myself. Hector, how you doing today?
Hey, I'm good.
You care to share a little bit about what you worked on and how it went for you?
Yeah. I worked on a Mexican restaurant. Um, I chose to work on it because my mom has like always wanted a Mexican restaurant. Like she always wanted to start a restaurant, and I thought it was like interesting to like see like what it would like cost and everything to start one. And something I learned from it is that there's like a lot of parts to running a business. It's not that simple.
What was the biggest learning curve for you of all of the different parts? Where did you find the most difficulty in going through this?
Um, I found it most difficult, like just like all the money that you need to put into it, mostly.
Yeah, I remember me and you had a little side meeting talking about the finances of starting a business and starting a restaurant and going through all those numbers. It can be daunting, but um, it any endeavor, it's good to fully understand what you're what you're getting into before you go into it. So definitely a good practice. Thanks, Hector. All right, let's see here. Natalie, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Yeah. Natalie, did you work on your own, or did you work with others on this? I can't remember off the top of my head.
I worked by myself, actually.
Great. Would you mind sharing what it is you worked on and how it went for you?
Yeah, so I actually worked on creating an online tutoring business. Um, I think that I mainly chose to work on it because like I know what it is, like how it feels to struggle in school and not feel like you have anyone to reach out to. So I think creating a student-ran tutoring business was like, I don't know, just a way to make sure that other students don't feel the way that I felt. Something that I learned about businesses is that you need to put your heart into it. Money can't be a motivator for a business because even though I'm sure I wouldn't have thousands of students lined up for my tutoring service, the few that do come to me, I really want to help them, I guess to say.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Did we spend some time like talking about the why you're going to do things? Did that make you think intentionally about this choice?
Yes, that it started to come through my head like, where am I going to put my heart if I was going to start a business? And I think, well, I'm a student right now, of course. So I think that's the first thing that came into my head.
Yeah. No, that's great. I mean, I think that's one of the things we spend a lot of time talking about is that owning a business or running a business comes with a lot of freedoms and perks. But if it's not something that you're personally invested in, it's going to be, it's not going to be nearly as enjoyable. So I'm glad you highlighted that. Let's see here. Audrey, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Yeah. Would you care a little? Could you share a little bit about what you worked on, what you got out of it?
Yeah. I worked on an online reselling company that will be reselling shoes and clothes. Am I
And
lagging?
Audrey, a little bit. You want to turn your camera off just for a sec while we chat, and then see if that helps. It wasn't too bad. Could you say what you said again?
I worked on an online reselling company that will be reselling shoes and clothes.
So Audrey, what does that mean to be reselling shoes and clothes?
What I would be doing as a reseller, I would purchase an item, for example, like a shoe. I would purchase it at retail price and then reselling it for like a higher profit or higher price.
And how did you get this idea? What made you interested in this?
I would see a lot of companies that would be doing this, and then majority of the people that would do this, their business would succeed just for the fact that many people would want to purchase that shoe, but not a lot of people are able to get it when it's first released.
And when you're seeing a lot of people doing this, where are you seeing them do this? Like, how are you finding out about this?
I see this a lot in social media or like through friends when people will be telling me that, oh, I'm waiting for this shoe to drop or for this shoe to come out, but most of the people don't have a chance to get it. So, and then they tell me, oh, I'm gonna have to buy it off somebody else or off another company.
Yeah, this is a interesting world that I'm trying to keep up with is the development of social media, and like running businesses through social media channels. It was cool to see Audrey pursue this. Audrey, did you learn anything about like the business world or about like how you might operate in this space from this program?
What I've learned is that social media could definitely like be a very good way to market your business. For example, like there's like you could follow a bunch of people and then a bunch of people will see your page and they'll see like the things that you're doing with your business. Not only that, but I also found out like with a business you need a plan and you need a like vision in order for it to succeed. Like you can't just be going into a business without like no plan or vision. If not, like your business is not gonna work.
Yeah, Yeah, I appreciate that, Audrey. Thank you for sharing. Let's see here. Jessica, I see you in my camera there. How are you doing today? Or sorry, Jennifer. My bad. God, long day.
A lot of people actually confuse my name for Jessica. But
That's my bad. Jennifer's hoping to be one of our guests on the podcast too as well. So we've been talking a little bit. Jennifer, what did you work on and how did it go for you?
okay, so hello everyone. I am Jennifer Cervantes, and alongside my coworkers Yad and Jordan, we have worked on atmospheric water generators. Our product has value in the sense that we give people around the world clean drinking water. And I learned a lot with the internship, but mostly what stuck out to me was how communication is so essential in seeing your business grow. And actually, after this internship, I plan on perhaps pursuing this in college.
Cool. Circle back to you. But so you worked with Ziad and Jordan, you said?
Correct.
Cool. Jordan, you want to jump in and share a little bit about how this went as working in a group on a project like this, how that came to be?
Yeah, so we decided we all were in the same position where in the beginning of the internship, you put us into rooms about what you kind of want to do. And we kind of started discussing, I don't know exactly who brought it up, but someone started just talking about atmospheric water generators. And we all kind of thought that was a really cool and interesting idea, providing clean and safe water. And to circle back to your point about teamwork, I don't think, well, I didn't know any of them before this internship. So getting to know them and also collaborating was really fun. And I think I had really good partners. And another part of being a team is that we met outside of the meetings, not just the meetings that you provided for us, to get our work done on time. So I think it's really good having a team that was on top of it to like balance us out because all of us were really on top of it and would kind of keep each other in check and accountable for our work. So I think that really helped us to succeed during this internship.
Yeah, that's cool. And I gotta say, it's hard enough to get to know people in 6, 7 weeks, 8 weeks in person, then to try to build a business, to do it online and to see how you guys kind of just meshed and got it done. I was pretty impressed with that. So that's cool. You highlighted. Ziad, how about you? How'd this go for you?
Yeah, so I went in the first business meeting and I didn't really have any ideas, and he told us to prepare ideas for us to like share with our peers, and then when I went in the breakout room, it was for e-commerce. So and Jennifer, she told me about the atmospheric water generators. I really thought it was a great idea, specifically like because of like a lot of countries are going through like hard times not finding like water, that sustainable water, and most of it is like really unhealthy for their bodies. So I thought it was a like a pretty good idea, and it was pretty interesting. So yeah, we worked on it and Jordan came in and yeah, it was pretty interesting.
That's cool. I heard a little bit from Jordan about like he took away how much teamwork, how important that is, and building a team. What did you take away from like? Did you learn anything about yourself or about the business world in general from kind of going through this program?
So I actually learned how to communicate with my team better, and how to like, yeah, just yeah, sorry. So I learned how to communicate with my team better and manage our times and figure out times together where we're all like available to like finish up work early and whatnot.
Cool. And Jennifer, how about you? Anything on a personal level you took away from going through this?
Yeah, I took away a lot. I realized how much I actually enjoy collaborating with people and sharing my ideas. And I feel like when you have more people sharing common interests, you just make a greater change. So I really enjoyed not being alone in this. And I really liked how the first couple of sessions you put us into breakout rooms and how we were all interested in e-commerce. And then I met people that were also interested in what I was interested in. And yeah, it just flourished from there. It was really insightful and effective.
That's cool. Jordan, anything you care to add? I know you shared a little bit about, but anything on a personal level you'd like to add in that we might have missed?
I think for myself, it was also like adaptability, like working, because there was like not everything went perfectly. We have not time in different zones, but each of us have different lives and different schedules. So adapting to finish on time as a team, I think was a really big key that I took away personally.
Yeah, that's a cool one to highlight. Especially, it feels like there's so many shifts constantly going on in the way we do work and in business nowadays. It feels like kind of with technology, we're constantly shifting. So the ability to be adaptable is huge. Obviously, I mean, we all learned that the hard way during COVID, but there's always going to be something else that you need to adapt to. So appreciate you naming that. Awesome. Thank you, guys. All right, let me see. Jazzy, you here? How are you today?
Yeah, I'm here. Wait, can you hear me?
Yep.
Perfect.
Care to share? How'd this go for you? What'd you work on? What'd you get out of it?
Yeah, my business idea was to build a marketing agency, which would like mainly specialize and kind of different from all competitors. It would be an all-in-one solution, which would provide like Google automation, marketing, and website development for local businesses. My main goal was to support businesses that lack the sufficient exposure, especially online, and ones that have been in business for, let's say, like 5+ years and still have very little exposure online. You had asked, why did you choose to work on it? It was basically to help local businesses that may be going through some struggles, especially due to the big names such as Amazon or Walmart that have been monopolizing in all industries and like many of the industries, and support the local businesses a little bit more, especially on social media and online.
Yeah, that's such a cool idea. To be honest, this was out like a little bit outside of my wheelhouse when you first brought it up. So I actually learned a bit from you during this, which is another reason I love this program. And getting to work with such a diverse group of people, because you guys, you might be young, but you guys have valid ideas and see perspectives that other people don't. So to hear you thinking about in terms of coming from a place of empathy about some of these businesses that have evolved into this technology, like who have grown into this technological place from maybe they've been there for 30, 40 years and they feel like they're getting left behind. The idea of building a company that would help them, I really love that. Jazzy, how about on a personal level? How'd this go for you? How'd this feel? What did you get out of it? What'd you learn?
Well, for me, I was actually I'm building it right now in real life as well. So I'm actually pursuing it. And while I was making that business plan, I've like found my biggest struggle, which was getting the clients. It wasn't building the software or anything, because that was easy to do. But like that client connection or client support that you would have is the hardest part that I found, especially even now when I'm getting that up and running. That's what I'm finding is the hardest. It's possible, but it's harder than I thought.
Yeah. Do you have any strategies?
Strategies? Yeah. So,
working those out?
well, there was a couple. It's majorly just connections that you have, like local businesses that you might be friends with, especially families, any other family friends that you might know, or even for some people, it might even just be cold calling. That works for some people as well, because I've seen other people who run businesses similar to this in other cities, and they've cold call or they reach out on social media with ones that don't have the exposure.
Cool. I appreciate that. It's so cool to hear you're actively building this too. That's exciting. I'm excited to see what you go on to create. Awesome. Thank you, Jazzy. Let's see here. Alejandra, are you there? How are you doing today?
Hi, I'm good.
Could you share a little about how you went through this program, what you worked on, and how it went for you?
Yeah, so I decided to work on creating a local coffee shop. The reason why was because not only I love coffee, but I most of the times I study a lot and do homework. So my brother and I we would go to like varieties of coffee shops to like study. And it would be hard for us because there's like some coffee shops where we would go just for the coffee, but there's other places where it would just be for the place. And I just wanted to like, it gave me an idea to create a coffee shop where we could have both, like have a perfect environment to study and also provide high quality coffee beverages. And yeah.
Cool. I love it. Coffee, such like a undeniable market. It seems like it's always going to be there. Alejandra, how about on a personal level? Like, what did you learn about business or about how you operate in this space by going through this program?
I learned that I was capable of creating a business because at first, before the internship, I had like no idea about business. Like I didn't have any like knowledge about it. But after going through the internship and creating a business plan, it helped me a lot. It expanded my understanding in business. And I also learned that creating a business is also difficult and it takes time. But if it's something that you would like to pursue in the future, then it's definitely worth it.
Yeah. And, I know we talked a little bit about the idea of writing a business plan, even if you don't follow through with that particular business, it's like a roadmap that you could use for different situations. So I love the idea that you shared that you feel more capable after this program. And I'd have to agree with you. I think that's accurate. So that makes me thrilled to hear that you feel that way. Awesome. Thanks so much, Alejandra. All right. Let me see here. Xavier, are you there? How are you doing today? Xavier, we might have a little bit of a connection issue on your end. So I'm going to give you a minute. I'm going to move along to someone else and we'll try to circle back, see if we can grab you. Give me one sec. So here, how are you? Would you care to share?
Yeah, I'm good. All right. The business idea that I worked on was an eco pod with Noah M. And this product was meant to like self garden for people who don't have the ability or time to do them themselves. And we chose to work on this problem because it's a common problem occurring in lives, and it allowed us to like find a solution for it. And also helps like make our planet greener and more like healthier. And this product would like increase the presence of healthy plants to improve the environment.
So here, you said you worked with Noah, yeah?
Yeah.
How did you guys know each other before this, or how did you guys end up working together?
Yeah, we knew each other.
Very good. Noah, how are you? Noah, could you explain what exactly this product is?
Oh, it's kind of like it's like would be like a little pot, and like you would just put a normal plant inside, and then it would kind of close up, and it would kind of make kind of like its own ecosystem and water itself every single day. So you would probably just have to leave it like on a shelf like a normal plant, but instead of constantly like getting up, watering it like 3 times a day, you just leave it alone until it like fully grows, and then you could like put it in a bigger pot or trim it.
Cool. Does this exist, or is this completely unique to you guys? Have you seen this elsewhere?
On Amazon, there's kind of something similar where it's like you put it in, but there's like it's like a normal like pot, and you put a plant in it, but then there's like overhead, it's kind of like a waterfall, kind of like a sprinkler system, and it just like sprinkles water on it.
Cool. So here, what did you learn about like trying to develop a product like this, either about the business aspect or about your work habits in this?
I learned that like that to develop a business, there's like lots of aspects to it, and like there's like a bunch of like things you have to consider for it, like including like pricing, like collaborations and stuff. So yeah, it was just kind of surprising to me.
Noah, how about you?
My takeaway from this was I think I gained some insights about the various components that make up a business. And I realized that we have to dedicate a lot of time and effort into creating like a singular, unique idea.
Cool. Thank you guys. Thanks for sharing. Let's see here. Annalise, are you there? How are you doing today? Love to
I'm
hear
doing
from
okay.
you.
Yeah.
Cool.
So what I worked on throughout the internship was a company that's pretty much like Uber, except for it's wheelchair accessible. It's primarily focused on those that are elderly and need help getting onto vehicles. Those are wheelchairs that it'll be driven by, trained people that will help the wheelchairs onto them. And it's accessible vans. So they'll have wheelchair ramps and a space in order to strap the wheelchair in. And I chose this because I volunteer at the Downey Theater, and I'm an usher there typically. And a lot of elderly people come in to watch the plays and the musicals, and I usher them to their seats, either because they have trouble seeing in the dark, or they just don't understand the format. And another large group of people that also come in are those that are disabled in wheelchairs, and I help them by pushing them down. The pathway to the theater is inclined, so I just help push them steadily down so they won't get injured. And they always have trouble either moving into their seats, or if they can't, they're unable to get out the wheelchair at all, then I place them on the side so they can watch the show there. And I find that they feel like they're a nuisance to people, or they're always like really nervous when I help them, or they're uncomfortable. And they're constantly apologizing. Then, they're saying, "Oh, sorry, I'm such a bother. I'm sorry that, you have to do this for me." And, to me, it's like, you're not a bother, you're a person. And, you should be treated like one. And so that always kind of bothered me that they were always doing that, because if I feel bad for them. So, I feel bad that they feel that like they have to complicate other people's lives when, you shouldn't be feeling like that. So that kind of brought me to my company, because if they feel like that simply getting to a theater seat, then they must feel even worse with transportation and, all that, especially because a lot of transportation companies, Uber does have wheelchair accessible things, but a lot of things still need developing. So that's how I got to it. And on a personal level, I'm a big procrastinator, especially with schoolwork. I do things like 2 days before. Or the day before. But with this, I found myself doing it like a week in advance or 4 days before, because it's something that I enjoy doing, something that I really like to do. So that's what I took away on a personal level. And also that business is just so versatile, and it's always adapting, and you have to adapt to the world around you.
That's really cool. And it just fills my heart to like think about you designing something from a place of helping provide dignity for others. Like, that's just such an awesome concept to build a business around. And it just makes me happy to think about like hearing that from young people, because sometimes business can get oversimplified into like making money, and it's like, yeah, making money definitely part of our lives, but the idea of having purpose and being able to like help people have dignity, even into who are differently abled or old age, is just such a cool way to, that's such a cool mindset to design from. So I'm really impressed with that. I appreciate that sentiment. Thank you for sharing. All right, I'm gonna just jump in real quick, and I'm just gonna share. I got a message from Gabriel. Unfortunately, he's got like a transportation issue going on, but he did want just to share a little bit. I'm going to share for him he had worked on a law business where the idea is to connect clients and lawyers who are not necessarily English speaking, or when there's a language barrier. And the idea is kind of helping people get access to those services that maybe they have trouble gaining access to due to their language barrier. And then Gabriel, I know you're kind of in a tough spot right now, but if you could shoot me if you get a minute, shoot me kind of what you learned about going through, like about yourself or going through this program, and I'll share that out with the group as well for you. Let me see here. Who can we have go next? Evelyn, are you there? How are you doing today?
Hi, I'm here.
Evelyn, would you like to share a little bit about what you worked on and how it went for you?
Yeah. Okay. So, oh, I thought my camera was on. Okay. So what I worked on was a business to start like meal prep plans for people to benefit them in like community. I did this because I also do this for myself, and I know some people in my school do it like as an actual business. They sell them for $5 with their containers, and then they get them back and they wash them, they sell it again. They'll meal prep with like basic food ingredients such as chicken, white rice, and beans sometimes, or asparagus, and sometimes they'll trade out for steak, whatever really like the other person wants. But I thought it would be a really cool idea because I think it's very popular now that people want to do meal planning, the meal preps like every single day, but they're just too lazy to do it or too busy to do it. So I thought it would be a really good idea to start organizing meal preps or start handing out like DIY so they could do it themselves.
Very cool. And what did you get out of going through this exercise or through this internship?
I actually really enjoyed this whole experience and all the advice that was given to us, because I thought it was just really helpful for like real life skills. And I feel like I could take it on with what I want to do in the future, because I always wanted to pursue a type of business type of career or marketing, like in real estate. But I thought this was a really good idea because I like communicating and I like setting up plans as well as organizing. So I thought it was a nice idea to set up.
Cool. And Evelyn, is this softball going on in the background, or
flag football?
Flag football.
Yeah.
This is another, it's totally fine. This is another thing I want to name, like, that impresses me about a lot of the young people on the call is like, you guys took the opportunity to do this internship. I know you're doing athletics. I know it's summer.
Yeah.
Like you're doing flag football. I know Jennifer does wrestling. Like, I'm just impressed with you guys. So
thank you.
Just shout you guys out for being able to juggle so many different things.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing, Evelyn. All right. Let's see here. Hey, Zeus, how are you?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Thanks. You want to share how you went through this, how you worked, or how it went working, and what you got out of it?
It was a pretty fun experience, like working together with Xavier and Jaden. I learned a good amount of stuff about myself now, because like I do enjoy working with others. It makes life a lot easier. And then just getting stuff done on time it's also very important, and just being on task as well, which is something I'm still trying to get better at, but it's something that I know I need to improve on.
You and me both, my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you worked with Jaden and who else?
Xavier on mobile detailing.
Okay, cool. Jaden, you want to kind of add in a little bit on what, could you share a little bit more on what you guys worked on? You guys are actually doing the mobile, like, auto detailing a little bit on your own right now. So this is an idea that's actually being built out and put into practice, correct?
Yeah. It's something like we all sort of like already do, but it's just like we just came together and collaborated to make, and added our own ideas and our strategies on what we do currently.
Cool. Jaden, any thoughts you'd like to add or things you got out of this?
I thought it was a really fun experience working with our partners and getting ideas from others.
Cool. And Xavier, what was the hardest thing going through trying to figure this out for you?
Doing
Xavier,
this with
I think we still might have lost you, Xavier. So if you want to throw it in the chat, I could share it out for the crew. You could participate that way. Jaden, what do you think was the hardest thing you guys kind of had to work through in thinking about growing the business? What seemed most difficult for you?
I think most difficult was the time. Like we had like a short amount of time working with each other.
Yeah, time constraints are always rough. Jesus, how about for you? What do you think what did you come across as being like one of the hardest things to like grow this business that you're working on?
The hardest part, what I feel like, was just putting my ideas out there and like learning from like Xavier and what he does currently. And so it was just like sort of not clashing, but like, oh, I do this way, he does it the other way. So like, let's try to find a way to make it work in a sense. So.
Yeah, that's cool. There's a vulnerability to like putting your ideas out there, but then hearing conflicting ones and trying to figure out, navigate that.
Yeah,
that's
and
interesting.
Yeah, I liked it because it made me like have an eye opener in the sense that, hey, I'm doing this, but I could sort of improve on it by utilizing Xavier's idea.
Yeah, and I mean, I think we talked about this a little bit, but it's you raise a good point in that like just because there's an existing business or an existing idea doesn't mean you can't do the same thing. You just need to put your own flair on it, your own style on it, your own marketing, whatever it is, you know?
That's the thing too, like business isn't sort of like it's a set thing that you don't need to improve on, you don't need to like do anything. That's the thing, like with business, you always need to learn how to adapt and learn how to like improve on your business and be conscious about what you're doing and what you're like need improving on in a sense. So there's always something constantly moving in your business, something that I've noticed too.
Cool, thank you, Jesus. And I know Xavier was having some connection issues, but shared in the chat with me that time was my biggest issue, marketing to customers and trying to keep customer loyalty, keeping them loyal to yourself and things like that is something that he's still developing. So, and I also heard a bit more from Gabriel regarding building out the law firm. He learned that having an idea is one thing, but to put it into action is a much more difficult thing. Still wants to pursue starting his own law firm someday, but is going to take his time and kind of make his way through school first. So super cool from both you guys to share that. All right, let me see here. I think we did. Isabel, how are you?
Oh, hi, I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing well. Would you care to share a little bit about what you worked on and how it went for you?
Yeah, so I created a body positive, inclusive swimwear line. Marketing towards women, who struggle to find a good quality swimsuit, and that fits, that actually looks good, that makes them feel good, and make them feel confident in themselves. Yeah.
Awesome. And this is an obvious thing like on why you would want to do something like this, but I'm curious, is there any personal, like, is there a more personal reason why you chose this, or is there what was the reason you chose this?
Yeah, honestly, I've experienced like firsthand seeing certain swimsuits not fitting certain body types the same way. And honestly, it made me think like that really sucks. It must really be a struggle for some people, seeing someone wear a certain swimsuit and it looks good on them, but then they try it on and it doesn't fit properly, it looks weird. And I just wanted everyone to feel good about themselves, you know.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And it's interesting. I have he's 11 months old now. So I just had a baby this past year, and my wife is an athlete. She identifies as an athlete and stuff like that. But I watched her kind of go through this transformation of growing and having a baby, and her identity, and it was really hard for her. Clothing, like finding stuff, like I gotta kind of peek behind the curtain on that. So I like this idea from a personal standpoint myself after watching it for the past year. Um, what did how about on a personal level, like just going through the program or learning about business, what did you get out of it?
I've just learned the way I wanted to market things. You know, the face of your brand really does matter, whether it sells or not. Also like time management, like time is really, you have to be able to put effort and time, and you have to, there's just a lot of things that factor into like creating a successful business. And I definitely think I struggled with, you know, procrastinating and then, you know, stressing out about how I wanted to market the business, and worrying about, okay, I want it to be, you know, decent price swimsuits, but really good quality, and then trying to figure out how that's going to work out. So it was a lot more than I expected it to be, but I honestly enjoyed it. I enjoyed learning about everything and taking everything into account of how I wanted to create this brand.
Yeah, it's cool. There are so many pieces to it, and often like we want the security of knowing that like before we take the next step that it's going to be there and we're going to be okay. But sometimes part of the like world of business is just these leaps of faith where you believe in what you're doing, or you believe in yourself or your team, and the next step is like kind of there, but you're not exactly sure, and just being able to go for it. It's a balance. I know June can speak about that as well. Thanks so much for sharing, Isabel. Appreciate it. Let's see here. I think we have Bradley and Ethan left. I hope I didn't miss anyone. Bradley, how you doing? Would you care to share a little bit?
Yeah, I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing well, thanks.
So my business idea was like a reptile store, and I would sell animals and products for them, like keep them healthy, everything. And I wanted to do that because I mean, I have a lot of pets, specifically reptiles, and a lot of people or a lot of stores who sell them, they don't sell either correct products, or the animals that they're selling are sick or unhealthy. And yeah, I just wanted to make sure people know what should what they should be doing.
And Bradley, how did your idea evolve throughout this internship? Because I know like we talked about like the social media stuff. Did any of that like kind of open your eyes, or did you think about it differently from where you were in the beginning?
Um, what were you saying about social media? Like, I wouldn't want to advertise mostly on there just because I feel like it's easier to reach people and reach that certain target, because it's not like everyone isn't like reptile keeping isn't for everyone. So it's easier to reach that target.
Yeah, that is such a phenomenon that I'm seeing in these like TikTok channels and YouTube shorts and all this stuff, where these people build these followings based on what they're interested in. And so Bradley and I got into a conversation about like how a pet store nowadays might not just be a pet store. There might also be this storytelling component on like what's going on in the pet store and what are the animals doing there, and you know, how are they kept healthy, because you see these things on social media and it's fascinating. And then you realize just how quickly, like, you might feel like you're in a small niche market, but once you get exposed to socials and stuff like that, you see how quickly it can grow and how many more people are involved in it. Bradley, how about on like just personally going through this program, how was it for you? What'd you get out of it?
I realized that like creating a business, how much money it takes, and kind of risky too. Also with the breakout rooms, like it kind of helped communicating with people, and sharing ideas really helped.
Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, even in breakout rooms where like you're not working on the same idea, these frameworks of like talking about these different struggles in business, you can learn a lot from different industries. So that's pretty cool. Thanks, Bradley. All right. I think Ethan is our last one. Ethan, I did not mean to leave you for last, my friend, but feel free to share.
Yeah, my business, since I've wanted to become an accountant for like a couple years now, I was like, oh, maybe I should do like an accounting firm. So I realized it was very helpful, and like something I didn't realize like an accountant probably needs is I realized, oh, you need insurance because if you mess up for things and you're doing like work for an accounting firm, you're liable for some of the damages that you can cause. So having insurance is like really big thing. So it was cool because I got to learn more about the job I want, but also like see like if I'm like the type of person that can run a business. And I figured out that, you know, it's kind of hard to do so, and it wouldn't be one of my interests, but I'm glad that I decided that now rather than later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's like accounting is a good example for this, where sometimes it's not a bad idea to start with a firm, you know, an existing accounting firm when you're young and learn as much as you can. And then 10 years in, 15 years in, you go and start your own firm. You know, once you have more experience and stuff like that. So, yeah. Ethan, did you like how did this feel compared to school, or did it feel different, or did you enjoy it more or less?
I enjoyed it more because with school sometimes I did take an accounting class and that was fun. I got to learn more about it. But like for other things, like if I compare it to my other studies, I just do it just because, well, I have to get a good grade. But here, I actually wanted to learn more about how I hopefully my future job would work. So I was really interested in how it worked.
Yeah, that's an interesting point there. So no grades in this, right? Like I'm not giving you a grade. I think I said multiple times, like I'm not your teacher. You know,
Yeah.
I'm just here to help you guys grow. How did you hold yourself accountable? Like, because you guys still did a lot. You still produced a lot, all of you.
I held myself accountable. Well, I didn't really need to because I could work on it, but like whenever I wanted to. But I made sure that, well, if I wasn't working on this, then I didn't really like. I guess you could say I didn't really need to hold myself accountable because I just did it. You know.
Yeah, because you were
That's the best
invested in it, I guess, huh? Cool. Thanks, Ethan. All right. I think that about summarizes what we did over this summer. If anyone wants more info on any of the presentations they heard, there's a link I'm putting in the chat right now that has more kind of details about all of the interns' work that you just heard about. I wish we had time to go through and have them all present their full plans, but they put a lot of work in, so that it would take a lot of time. But if you want to check it out, there's a link in the chat there, and June will make that available as well. June, I want to bring you in. Is there anything you're curious about, or we have just a few minutes left? So
Yeah, I wanted to open it up for questions. If there's anyone on the YouTube live stream who has questions, or anyone here who might have questions for our interns / pre-apprentices who presented, we could go ahead and unmute, or if you want to put it in chat. I'm monitoring the YouTube as well. If not, I'm going to ask my classic question that I ask. Let's see. No questions there. Anyone have a question? Let's see. So I'm just curious. So this was working remotely, and I'm curious if it was what you expected. So when you signed up, you knew it was going to be working remotely, and then now we're at the end of it. So you finished your showcase just now. So congratulations. And now we're in questions time. So how does it feel now? And I would love some reflections on what did you expect working remotely, and then how was it? If you have any thoughts that you didn't share during your presentation.
I'm going to see if any interns want to share out loud and just answer that question. How did it feel? Was it what you were expecting? And if not, you know me, I'm going to call on somebody.
Well, Hector shared that I thought it was going to be a lot more work. Thanks for sharing, Hector.
I thought, like Adam said, that he's not a teacher, but I thought it would kind of be that environment. That's what I expected going in, that he would be more controlled. He would guide us into doing it. Or I knew it was business and entrepreneurship, but I thought instead of us creating our own business, I actually thought he was going to kind of like guide us through his own things, like make mini assignments. But I preferred it the way it was now, because, you know, we got to be creative and do things that we're actually interested in, instead of something that someone else is interested in doing. So, yeah.
Thank you. Anyone else want to share? Hello?
Can I add to what Anari said?
Yeah, go ahead.
Like Anari said, like she said, she felt that it was going to be more controlling, and it wasn't. Like it not being as controlling, it helped, because when we had errors or whatever, we weren't graded, and we got the points, and we learned from it rather than get criticized from it. So I think, yeah, it was more helping, because the teacher was Adam. He really guided us through logo making and what they called our pitch deck and our business plan. I think he really showed us he showed us from right to wrong, and he didn't criticize for it. He actually tried to guide us to the right way.
Thanks, Gabriel.
Gonna make me blush, Gabriel. Thank you, man. We got 2 minutes left. Anyone else?
I know. Alan, do you have any questions?
I think we might have. Oh,
Sorry, I was trying to get the thing back on. I don't have really any questions. It's just more of a comment that I thought was just important to note. I mean, with all of these businesses, so a couple different comments actually. One is that, you know, if you find something that your heart is in, then it's truly something that you're invested in. And, you know, when you ask someone about time management, how did you, you know, and you're like, well, I didn't really have to manage it because it was something that I just did. And I think that's something that if you can learn early, that you can find something that you really love and that you're invested in, then that's something you're going to love doing. And then again, just the other part about finding things that maybe you don't like, right? When you put in work on something and you realize, I don't think I really wanted to do this. So I think those are both valuable lessons that you all have learned in this experience. But you know, I've looked at some of your business presentations just on the side, and I was really impressed with those things. I know I forgot who did the one on the resale of the shoes. I need to talk to you once you start doing that, because I have a hard time getting those drops when I'm looking for those shoes. They don't give them to old people like me. I don't know what it is, but anyway.
Thanks, Alan.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's our Director of College and Career Readiness from Downey Unified, Alan Tyner. Thank you, Alan. Anyone else have any questions for each other or comments?
I have a question, June.
Please, Nancy.
I was wondering if any of the interns have parents who have their own business, and now being on the other side of it, does it give you an appreciation for what your parents do to provide a living for themselves and for you?
Yeah, I do. My dad does construction, and like I help him out with that, with like invoices and all that. So learning more about different types of businesses and like the LLCs and all that it was like an eye opener, seeing like, oh wow, this is actually what he's doing. It's like sort of like gratitude story in a way.
Thank you, Jesus. Anyone else?
That's actually a really great question from Nancy that I'm going to start incorporating. I don't think I've ever asked that before to any of these cohorts.
It is. It is. I know well, business and entrepreneurship is definitely near and dear to my heart. And we actually had a guest speaker before the session who has a small business, and so it was interesting to hear what she said, that she, talked about it wasn't necessarily something she dreamed of doing when she was a child, and I would echo that. It wasn't something that I necessarily dreamed of becoming an entrepreneur, but definitely the need and wanting to create a company where I would want to work, essentially, is what I wanted to have happen. And so, yeah, it's always fun to have Adam do this deep dive. He's done it, like he said, a number of years now. So thank you, Adam, for doing this again with us. And then I wanted to thank everybody for joining us. And we have more presentations, more showcases coming up. We have, I believe we have, this is where I need my people to tell me. We have one tomorrow. Is it one, or we have, does someone know, Monica, or I have to pull it up? So I do know we have more coming up.
We do have one tomorrow at 3:30 for regenerative product design.
Thank you, Monica. So Monica, yes. So tomorrow we have regenerative product design. And then Friday, I believe we have
two on Friday. So at 3:00, we have next generation CRISPR. And then at 4:30, we have introduction to engineering, design, and making.
All right, Monica, you know the schedule, so keep going.
Keep going. All right. And then on Monday, we have 4 different showcases. So it starts at 9:00 with event production and planning. Then at 2:45 with film and video production. From 4 to 5 with storytelling through film. And then the final one is at 5:30 with digital news production.
Exactly. So we have a lot more. And please stay tuned. Join us again on our YouTube channel. And those of you who are, so all of the interns / pre-apprentices, thank you so much. All of you did an amazing job and so interesting, all of your business ideas. And I just wanted, round of applause for everybody. Thank you so much. And thank you, Alan, Nancy, for joining us. And I'm going to go ahead and turn off the recording. Let's see, I'm sorry, turn off the live stream.